Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we're looking down on somebody's business, house. I don't know. I know I said I was going to let the game run for a little bit for Pine Pass, but I did. I let it run for a little while. You can see we've come up. But one of the things that I tend to neglect for too long and then have to do it like in a live stream is detailing. I'm not a huge heavy detailer, but I do like adding in, like this area with the cemetery. It's just kind of blah. Same over here in our park, and that's where we're going to start, is in our pedestrian area / park. I think it would be good to go ahead and get some things in. I really thought I saw some wildlife walking through there, but no, it was just a shadow of a bird. So I want to make just a bit of a change here on our pedestrian park. First things first, I want to come in and, even though this is a winter map, I still think it would be nice to have some food options in here. So we're going to throw in both the ice cream stand and the food truck. And then we are going to... Oh, I thought I was able to click these and get the variants of them. That's disappointing. Well, let's come into here and just reset it then until we get the one that we want. Which, that's it. That's what we get. Well, what about this? Can I get... I thought I would get the different pattern option in there. Oh, well. We'll just have to live with some slight variation. So we've got our fire pit. We've got a food truck plaza, we've got ice cream, and then we've got these two statue sculptures over here. What I want to add in to this area is an ice skating rink. Just right opposite our fire pit, and it doesn't want to line up perfectly, but we can use move it to change that. I just want to look at my grid here, highlight that, and then I'm just going to use the arrow key to bump that over, and that looks nice. And then we do have enough money for the Christmas tree, but that would be not the smartest spend right now. Can we, it's $250 and it costs us $1,600 a week. It fits there beautifully, but I just don't think that's our best use. $250,000 plus the fact that it would hit us for $1,600 a week. I think we need to just hold off and let that be a bit of a celebratory item that we have later. But what I would like to do is redo our land uses here. And maybe not there. But I want to go ahead and bring in just a little bit of commercial into this area. I originally wasn't going to do this. I was originally going to leave this just park space. But these buildings benefit from being inside of a pedestrian area, if I'm not mistaken. Because it already has massive high land value. Plus, obviously we're not going to get enough zoning, I don't think, to make it a dedicated area. But that bumps up our entertainment. Of course, that helped, and that helped, and that helped. But these will benefit better from having the zoning in there than it will out here. Want to look at what we have here. Your car wash that hasn't given up yet. And then since we have added so much over there, I don't think we even need this over here as commercial. The one thing I am concerned about is how much noise this makes, which is fairly substantial. So we may look at some city services there, but on this side for certain, I want to go ahead and just rezone this as residential. And maybe even that right there by the police station, and it can maybe get a nice long building back there, possibly. And then we could probably get away with bringing residential in up to a point. That's not what I wanted to look at. Yeah, I don't know that I'd really want to go any closer than that. It's already pretty noisy right there. But that gets us a nice mix. We've got a couple park destinations here. We've got shops in here. I'm not going to use the wall-to-wall buildings. I could, but I'm not going to. I'm fine with this just being normal retail that just happens to be pedestrian focused instead of car focused. Though We have gotten a couple of auto-oriented uses in here, so we're probably going to have to play whack-a-mole a little bit. I would rather see these things without parking lots spawning here on this interior road. And I think that's just going to be a bit of a challenge. Because I think that's going to have parking. Yeah. We'll see. Let's speed it up here. Yep, that has parking. Go away. We're just gonna play whack-a-mole until we get what we want. Let's make this one historical and this one historical. Wait, that's two of the same thing. Never mind. You're gonna go away. The pop soda is fine. I can already see that has a parking lot, that has a parking lot, that has a parking lot. So I'm just gonna play whack-a-mole for a few minutes until I get what I want in here, and then we will go from there. And that'll work for now. We can always revisit this area later. We do have a couple of fairly similar looking buildings in these two. But this works for me. I don't really care so much about what pops up out here, because that's an actual road. So that's not as big of a deal. So I want to start with getting some landscaping done here. And which of... We've got our generic pine tree, which... They're fine, but we seem to have a different one in most of these places. What are you? You are the conifer 1. So we can use conifer 1 and conifer 2 to get some nice landscaping done here. But I'm wondering what the rhododendrons look like in the snow. Is there any color to them at all? Maybe? I don't know, but I would like to have something green along here. Maybe we could just do the wild hedge instead and build them in a line. Yeah, let's try this and see what we get. We're going to need to adjust our spacing. Oh, now it is dead. There we go. Yeah, we're going to need to adjust that spacing. I want that nice and compact. So we're going to bring that way down to like, yeah, there. Maybe a little bit bigger. And we're just going to run those, yeah, right along the back here. And then along the side. That wasn't the back. I know the difference between the back and the side. Or do I? And then we're going to run another line here. And then another line right here. And then I want to come out of here, back to that. And I want to find our oak tree. Even though this is a winter map, I think... It would be nice to have just a couple oaks scattered in the area. Not going to go crazy with it. And then along the back, we can switch over to our conifers and kind of just create a tree line here. I'm going to do this one and then come in and fill in some of the gaps with this one. This will give a bit of privacy when you're in the cemetery, paying respects to your loved ones. And it'll just look nice. I think we could probably do with maybe just one or two more oaks back here. And I think that looks all right. It's not overdone, but it definitely makes the area feel a bit more complete. I like that the snow gathers in the leaves of the oaks and on the hedges. I think it looks pretty good. And then we've got our row there. We could maybe even do a fence around this. But this has already got the stone fence. So I don't know that we're going to really add anything by bringing a fence in back here and back here and back here. What I do want to switch gears to is go in and start adding in our walking paths. We've got the space for them. They don't cost a whole lot. I mean, that's $340. We've got 400,000 in the bank. Maybe by the end of today's video, we can add in the Christmas tree and get that central area done. We are going to go back over there with some detailing. We're not done with just adding commercial to that area. We are definitely going to add in some trees and some bushes and make it a very special place. So I'm going to bring that through there. And then since we've got this gap here anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and bring that on over. I am worried that when I go and upgrade all these roads that all these paths are going to go away. I may have to just turn off collision when we go to do the upgrades. which is perfectly fine. Because we might wind up losing homes too, so probably turning collision off would be the best thing. Now, I've debated bringing a path in like here, but this is already all pedestrian focused anyways. So instead we're going to use that area for some greenery, just to spice it up and liven things up a little bit. Now through here, I don't know that we've got really a logical place to bring a path through. Maybe we could get something back here, but I don't know. Does that work? Yeah, it works. And then we could even run one if it would let me snap here. Maybe down through there, but nah, we'll leave it alone for now. Back here, not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it here. But back here, I think we definitely have the need. Unfortunately, it also means that some of these houses that we gave larger lots to are going to need to change. Simply because I want to get the path to run kind of in through there. I'm going to turn off all my snap twos, and I'm going to just put this where I want it. Running right back through here. And then where do we want to bring it out? Probably over that direction. So over here, even though this is really close to some homes, we're going to run right here. It's just as short a segment as I can possibly get away with. There we go. And I'm going to use my curved road tool and curve up to that. And then I want a connection right here as well. And it's saying distance too short because of course it is. There we go, that works. And then here, we just need to turn all this off and connect up to right about there. Let's not take out that house. Yeah, that works. And then if it'll let me, I'd like to get a path in right here. Beautiful. These will all be upgraded to regular streets eventually. So the fact that we've got the concrete path meeting up dirt roads won't be a big deal. So you're just determined that your house is going to stay there even though there's no zoning there anymore, huh? I think not. I have feelings about that, and they're bulldozer feelings. So yeah, you're gone. And then let's turn our snap twos back on. I want to bring this in here as well, and just get it to join up, just wherever. That's fine. And then we continue placing paths. So I'm going to do that, and then we will look and see what's next. And I think it's looking pretty good. I'm not really worried about getting paths in over here. I don't even notice that we needed these paths. One thing I've noticed, though, is this little tunnel here is really beneficial. A lot of people are using it. It makes me wonder if maybe adding in a couple more might not be a good idea, or not a bad idea. It might not be a good idea. Might not be a good idea there, Brandon. So I'm going to do that. So we came out 4 on this before we started making the tunnel, and yep, there we go. We've just already lost one of our paths. We'll fix it. So we're gonna get under here. There's how deep it needs to be, and then to there and to there, and then we're gonna do the same here. And I just think this will help with traffic flow, so not everything has to go back down to the main road. And then we'll bring that up, and then I just want to do like we did on the last episode. Go underground, grab these nodes, and I'll go ahead and do these two as well. And then go back above ground and lower these down until they look better. So just hit page down, and that's good. Again, it makes for an incredibly steep tunnel, but it's already a low speed road, so it's okay. Plus that just looks better, I think, in my opinion. That looks better, so we're gonna go with it. So I want to make a tree brush. I don't know if we want to make it just tons of conifers over and over again. I mean, that's what we have on most of the map, so that's okay. But maybe we go, and we're gonna need to make a new brush and name it Pine Pass, and then this needs a search function. We want to add in, I guess we will just go conifer 1, conifer 2, and we'll make these pretty strong. We'll go 40% chance on both of those. So that gives us 80. And then maybe we go for our oak, which I always have a hard time finding it. There we go. Live oak at a 20% chance. Actually, let's bring that down to 10 and bump these up to 45 each. There they are. And then we will test this out and see how it looks. I'll just come over here to a small area, and yeah, that works fine. So I want to bring our size down, and I kind of just want to have just a nice wooded area right here. That's why I wanted the tree brush real quick. I don't want to get too particular with tree placement in these areas. I want them to look like, you know, they were a little more natural, and that area just was never cleared for development. And then I kind of want to do the same right back here and right here, and then on this corner just to provide some screening over that way, and probably in behind the high school and right there as well, just in this corner there. That already looks a lot better. And then back here we will just come through with our trees and just manually place them. I wish I could select 2 trees at once to paint in a straight line. That would be kind of cool, but I can't. So instead we're just going to kind of go in by hand and plop some conifers down here just along the highway. Again, this is more just for separation from the highway. Even though these are commercial uses, it would feel nice to not, you know, just go out into the parking lot to your car and just be looking at the highway traffic going by. So we're going to spread some of these out and go through there, and then come back through with the other conifer. And anywhere that we've got bigger gaps, we'll throw in an oak or 2, because this tree looks like it is bigger than the other one we were using. But we do still have a couple little gaps that we could do just a couple random oaks with, and then maybe some places like that could have some oak trees where the path or the roadway was coming through. So let's just look for a couple of opportunities for some oaks. Like I think there, that's a good spot. That's a good spot. Right there's a good spot. And there, maybe right here and right here and right around here. Not overdoing it, because again, the oaks are just, you know, white since it's winter time, so they don't add a lot of color, whereas our conifers do. And now that I'm looking at our cemetery, I think there is benefit to bringing the conifers on down and around. We won't put them where there are oaks, but I think this will help with that visual separation and make this look a little bit better, and maybe do the job that I was hoping a fence could do, but before I decided against doing a fence. Yeah, that feels better. I like that. That I think is great. Now back here, we don't have a whole lot of space, and if I place these right alongside the path, it'll let me do it, but I don't know that that's super realistic. I mean, people are already going to be bonking their heads on there. And I don't think our oak tree would look that good there either. I mean, it's high enough up, but then you've got the problem that the branches are over people's houses. And then out here, the branches are going to interfere with the road. So we'll have to think about something else for back here. Maybe just, we could maybe just do the hedgerow again. Let's see what we think about that. We'll bring that right in along there. You know, I think that'll be fine. Just a little bit of greenery and something to keep everybody's backyards from being super exposed. Because right now that's the case. Like these that don't have the fences, people could look right in there. But now let's grab a citizen here. Preferably somebody facing that way. There we go. There's somebody. Little kid. Yeah, that gives us a little bit of separation. Not a lot, but better than nothing. But at least it's going to keep people from walking through your backyard, hopefully. So we could do that all throughout and maybe mix it up every once in a while with rhododendrons. Like maybe for everything approaching this park, they get rhododendrons. Keep calling it a park, and it's not really a park, but it's functioning as a park. And these are wanting to be a bit squirrely here. So we will go there and then continue to there. That'll be fine. And then, yeah, that end down there does not want to cooperate with me. Come on, you got this. No, you don't have this? Let's start maybe from here and see if we can't do it a little bit better. Man, this block is being very uncooperative. It's probably because I'm starting at a weird spot and going at a weird angle. Yeah, that was the problem. There we go. And bring that on down. Oof, that is going to be right against these people's back door. Oh well, you shouldn't have built your back door so close. Ooh, that's... And it's not wanting to cooperate here, is it? There we go. That did it. So we'll do that row. We'll do this row. And this is why I don't get into too much detailing. It's just time consuming. But man, it sure does make an area look so much better. I think that this type of work is better suited to live streams myself. I just think it's something that just naturally fits that format better because you can kind of take it slow, hang out with chat, and all of that good stuff while you're just doing fiddly little work. For a video, it doesn't make for the most exciting, most compelling viewing, I think. But we're here doing it anyway. So, there you go. We're going to switch to the wild hedge just to mix it up here. Actually, no, we're going to do... I'm not going to look the best, but we're going to do a couple young lindens. And by a couple, I mean about 10. Just to line that out. You know, they actually don't look all that bad. And then here, just to kind of hide this facility, we're going to come in with a conifers. That's the wrong button. That's also the wrong button. And just create a wall of green here. We're going to fill in our gaps and then fill in our gaps again. And I think we'll maybe switch to our oak. That's a little too close together. Like there'll be a bit more separation there, so let's kind of start over. And do what we just did, but different. So do that and then fill in with that. And then I think it's okay to have the conifers overlap. I mean, if you walk out my backyard, you see lots of pine trees and things that are right up against one another. So that's not unheard of. So then we'll do the same thing on this side. Just, again, we're just trying to shield this building a bit. Not shield this building, but shield the neighborhood from the building. It's not a bad-looking building, but it is a noisy building. So I want to, you know, just cover it up as much as possible. And that may have even helped a bit on our noise pollution. It did. It definitely did, between the shrubs and everything. So I'm going to go through and finish up all of these walkways with different shrubberies and things like that. And then we'll come back and finish it off here in this park. So enjoy the, it's not a time lapse, but whatever you want to call it. Enjoy the sped up footage. And I think that has all of those completed. What I want to do now is take a look and see. Yeah, a lot of our homes have not done much in the way of upgrading, so their general shape and layout could change quite a bit, changing how much white space there is in various areas. So I think what I want to do is just come through some of these larger areas where there are going to remain gaps. Like this could wind up having a house that comes all the way back here once it fully upgrades. So there's no point in trying to force in some trees there that may just wind up getting deleted later when it upgrades. So I think instead what we'll do is just come through some of these areas that we know are going to remain fairly open and just throw some trees down in those. Like we know we've got a gap there and we've got a couple small gaps back here. And you can kind of tell where they are because when you bump into the house, it goes red. So we're just going to fill in a few different conifers, and then we'll come through with a couple oaks as well. And just fill in these white spaces, and then we'll do our big pedestrian area. And I think we'll be in good shape to proceed from there. All right, and that's already feeling a lot better through there. Not as much just empty, well, literal white space. Some greenery poking through. I think things are looking good. And our budget's in an okay place, and we've got a bit of money, so I think it's time. I think we have to go ahead and do it. But where is this thing? So it has some buildings towards the side and the back. So I would think you would want it as you come into town for the view to be unobstructed by the buildings. This other food stalls and things like that. And that looks fantastic. Even though it's not on perfectly flat ground, it works. I like it. So here we obviously have just a lot of conifers from this. I think somewhere I have a conifer brush. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's just the two. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. So instead, I will just manually place conifers down and fill in. I just want to fill in this whole area, but before I do that, I want to come in with a fence and just kind of solidify it. If you're wondering why I haven't done anything, oh dear, we've made that ultra flammable. If you're wondering why I haven't done anything back here, I'm thinking this is probably going to be like a park that goes through this whole area. Just to give a place for play spaces and things like that. Oh dear Lord, half the town's on fire. What's our fire coverage like? We've got one lone fire department. We may want to expand that. That would be a good thing for over here, since we're not... Why aren't we putting anything right there? Oh, because it's power. Okay, yeah, let's see. We've got one fire department there. Let's get another one right here so they can get onto the collector. And hopefully they'll be able to go help put some of that out. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Police coverage looks pretty good. I don't think anybody's really... No, they say they need more services out here. So we'll give them a bit of police coverage somewhere out here. Maybe we'll do some eminent domain on one of those factories and add that in. And that gives a bit of coverage there. But dear Lord, a big chunk of our town is just on fire right now. And I don't know if the fire department's going to be able to keep up with it. But hey, let's go ahead and just ignore that and add to the general flammability of the town. And I want to run a fence. Just a simple fence. Right in through here. Nothing fancy. Doesn't need to be. Just something to create. Just a sense of a place. And we could even bring it up over this way, but I don't think that's necessary. So, fire department, you getting it? Not really. Surprisingly, nothing's burned down yet, though. Oh man, if that's not a thumbnail right there. Look at that. Just the city burns. So we get the Christmas tree in the background. Yeah, that is a beautiful Christmas tree. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing, which is finishing off this park. So I want to drop in here and add in a bunch of conifers. And I do mean a bunch. I want this whole area to be completely filled. It's going to be hard to get them right up against there. But I want this to just be a nice, super green retreat in the middle / entrance to our town. So I'm going to try to get these to overlap with the actual asset as best I can. It's a little tricky at times, but these larger ones kind of fill in the gaps a little bit and help a lot. And just kind of make it look like one bigger area than what it actually is here. And bring those all the way to the edge, nice and dense. So when you go in there, you just have a really cool green area. In the middle of town, sure, but it feels nice. And then we will contrast on the other side by not going nearly as heavy. In fact, I think we may just line the outside of this just to create a nice little area. And I'm thinking I'd really like to have some sort of a shrub. Boy, the jacaranda doesn't really, it has leaves, but not blooming. What would... I know it's not the right type of pine, but will this just stand out? I think this could add a nice separation there, just behind the skating rink. Kind of obstruct the view as you're skating around. I don't know how I feel about those. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about them. We could also do some of the generic pine trees. I think they'll fit okay. And won't be as tall. And I think we'll be fine with that. Just to kind of fill in that area. And then maybe just a couple conifers here and there for this area. Just somewhat random. And maybe 1 or 2 oaks. Just to cap it off. And I think, hey, they got most of the fire put out. It's kind of impressive. I think this is looking a lot better. Down to this side, we could probably use a bit of separation from the commercial, but I don't want to completely block it off since it is a part of the pedestrian area. So maybe we could do some young lindens lining right here, just 3 like that. Is that really playing Jingle Bells? It is. And then line the rest of it with our larger conifers here, and maybe go back with just 1 or 2 more oaks right at the corners. I think that looks all right, and I really think I just heard a kid shout, "Shut up." One other little detail here. I think this would be a good thing here, just to bring this. It's overlapping something right there. I swear I hear kids shouting, "Shut up." And see if I can't get this to come around. Nope, it doesn't want to, so let's go right there. I don't know how this really is going to look with these lindens here. We're going to see. I think it looks fine. Yeah, I think that is looking good. So we're gonna find somebody that's here in the, wow, really? I spent all this money and nobody is visiting this thing? Wow. Well, that's gonna be our view for the outro. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.